Hello my friends, today we are going to learn how to become a genius from the genius of all geniuses. And I'm not talking about this guy, I'm talking about this guy. Leonardo da Vinci is famous for many of his creative works like the Vitruvian Man, the Last Supper, the painting of the lady with the weird smile and the eyes that follow you no matter where you walk. Fun fact, Da Vinci is not actually his last name. The direct translation is from Vinci, meaning that Vinci is the place he was born in. But anyway, what are the biggest things that we can learn from our man Leonardo da Vinci? Let's take a look.
Lesson 1. Curiosity.
Leonardo was curious about everything, literally everything. His notes and his diaries show that pretty much anything was enough to ignite a flame of interest in Leonardo's mind. By being curious, Leonardo opened his mind up to learning new things. And with each new thing that he learned, his horizons broadened. And all of this started with his curiosity. So how can that help us? Well, firstly, we can start by questioning things. And I don't mean this in a conspiracy theorist sort of way, I just mean by taking an interest in things, no matter how small. Even things that seem obsolete can lead you down rabbit holes and provide you with useful skills and knowledge. Michael from Vsauce often asks questions like, what if we all jumped at once? And why do we kiss? And when he does this, he sets out on a path where the answers lead to more questions, but as a whole, leads to more knowledge. The more knowledge you have in general, the better equipped you are to deal with novel situations. And you never know when knowledge from one area can be useful in another. But we'll get to that later, so just remember, lesson 1 to being a genius, be curious.
Lesson 2. Have a childlike mind.
Now don't get me wrong, it would probably be a step backwards if you started acting like a baby, so don't use this as an excuse to have a tantrum in public. Instead, try and re-grasp the feelings of awe and wonder that have slowly been dissipating as you inch closer and closer to your inevitable demise. Anyway, we can revive our imagination, or at least we can maximize the awe and wonder that's present in our adult lives. And the reason why we should do this is because when we do, we can actually come up with some pretty cool ideas. Our adult brains always want us to think small. Sometimes it's good to break that habit. A good way to do this is to try and find some time where you can go and do something that you used to love yourself when you were a child. Maybe it's mixing a whole bunch of ingredients for no particular reason, or jumping in that lake on the way to work. You can play with Lego or start playing board games. You might even just want to go and explore your surroundings just because. If you have the fortune of spending time with kids, try and take an interest in what they're doing. Ask them questions and try to see the world from their eyes. This can provide you with a way of seeing the world that you might have forgotten, and open up possibilities that you may have never imagined. Da Vinci would often indulge his childlike imagination, and he would contemplate futuristic cities and crazy new weapons. Even if they didn't surface in reality, it still helped him come up with solutions for practical problems that were actually prevalent in his time. We can all benefit from letting our minds run wild every once in a while. So remember, try and have a childlike mind.
Lesson 3. Merge disciplines.
Leonardo's resume would be pretty impressive. He designed bridges and weapons, he played instruments, he painted, he drew, he contemplated and designed flying machines, he studied anatomy, science, mathematics, human behavior, animals. The guy pretty much did as much as any guy could do. Leonardo made no distinction between science and art, and in doing so he excelled and innovated in both those fields in ways that mere mortals couldn't understand. In our lives, we're often placed in boxes. You're either a tradie or you work in an office. You're an influencer or you're a nerd. You either deal with words or you deal with numbers. Now, for obvious reasons, there are benefits to dedicating yourself to one particular field in the modern world. However, it's not that you have to chart 2 courses simultaneously, but rather, are there aspects from one field that you can draw from and bring into your own? For example, if you're an athlete, are there exercises from another sport that can make your game more versatile? If you're a chef, is there artwork that can inspire a new way to create or display meals? You need to think, what can I combine from different facets of life that will help me perform better in my particular field? And when you do this, you'll find that you'll come up with innovative ideas and solutions that other people would never have thought of. Basically, the more fields that you can draw from will make you a far more competent and interesting person, and you'll come up with crazy good ideas that no one else ever will. And that's pretty much the epitome of being a genius. So remember, lesson 3, merge disciplines. These are just a few things I took away from Walter Isaacson's biography of Leonardo da Vinci, which I highly recommend. After reading this, I'm pretty confident that he can be cemented as one of, if not the greatest genius to ever live. Now let's be honest, some people are born with superior intellect, but I don't think that necessarily makes you a genius. Leonardo da Vinci has taught me that to be a genius, you have to be curious. You have to allow your childlike mind to run free every once in a while. And lastly, you have to experiment with as many ideas from as many different fields as possible. Anyone can be a genius. I'll see you guys next week.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised.